Okay, there is one thing that I will not do is join in on the negative propaganda against foundational Black Americans. That's something I will not do. It does not matter what we see on social media. Now, as you see this image on the bottom here, this was posted by a YouTuber by the name of T-Mot. He used to have a channel on YouTube, T-Mot Drive Time. His name is Derek Grayson, and he's got a Facebook page. And this is the image that he posted of Black Americans. Now, I responded to him, and I was saying how that does not represent the 50 million Black Americans, maybe more, that's here in America. And then he responded with McDonald's, picnics, cookouts, cruises, funerals. And then he says, I've seen it all. Now, we've been through some of the worst parts of foundational Black Americans, where Black Americans were executing themselves. And the violence that you've heard about in the so-called Black community is isolated incidents that's between two or more parties. It's the so-called gang culture. It's the drug dealers. It's someone's disrespecting somebody's woman, or sleeping with somebody's wife or somebody's woman, somebody being disrespectful. It's personal between two parties. It could be someone that owes somebody money. And we know how the media will blow that up. Black on black violence, black on black crime. But they tend to ignore all of the bloodshed that was shed by the colonizers, the white man. There are so many Black Americans that forget how your ancestors, how you ended up on this land. Now, some of us, many of us was already here. Not all of us was brought from Africa. But a lot of the self-hate that Black Americans have within themselves is taught to them. When we watch television, me growing up in the 60s and the 70s, and when we watch television, we've always seen images of blacks as Black men as pimps, as Black women as prostitutes. You know, Black men are not able to take care of their families. This is all of the negative propaganda that has been in the media for decades, for millennials. This is what we've been seeing growing up. But now that the borders had opened up, and it's been flooded with a lot of undocumented immigrants, illegal immigrants, now these same people are now put in the so-called Black community. They're mixing in. So when they commit a crime, they're not going to say someone from Ghana or someone from Nigeria or someone from Uganda. They're going to say a Black man or a Black woman. They put us all in the same boat, all in the same category. Although we're totally two different species of people, if I may say. So we're not all the same. But when Black Americans start separating themselves, because we started taking the blame for a lot of what other people were doing. So when Black Americans start saying, okay, we're foundational Black Americans because immigrants, Black immigrants, were also calling themselves Black. Whereas before, They found that to be an insult, and they made sure that they let you know that they are not Black Americans. So Black Americans started delineating, and once Black Americans started delineating, that's when the problem started. We were being attacked by Mexicans. We were being attacked by Hispanics. We were being attacked by Haitians, Jamaicans, Asians, and Africans. And then you had even white racists started joining in on it. You see what's going on with the whole Chud the Builder thing. And now you have other Chud the Builder disciples doing the same thing, trying to spark some type of reaction from blacks. And then once black people start responding to them, then it's like black people are violent. Oh, you're violent. Those are only words. You know, it doesn't mean you have to get violent. And now you have Black Americans that's repeating the same lies. And it's sad. And you have Black Americans that's posting negative propaganda like this. And it doesn't represent the whole 50 million Black Americans. Even Brandon Tatum, the stuff that Brandon Tatum is spewing out there. And like I mentioned in a prior video, just because you become a conservative or a Republican don't mean that you have to become a racist of your own people. Because these people start talking about they, and they started doing this, and these people, ignoring the fact that they are these people that they are putting down. And that's one thing I refuse to do, is put down Black Americans. I've been through to some of the most dangerous, or what they call dangerous, neighborhoods in the Black community. Before Cabrini Green was torn down, that was one of my stomping grounds, hanging out in Cabrini Green. Being in D.C. in the hood, Chicago in the hood, New York in the hood. I can go to any Black neighborhood and don't have to worry about anything. I've never been randomly attacked by another Black American. I have not in my lifetime. So this is all no more than negative propaganda, which I refuse to take part in, because at the end of the day, if a so-called race war would to break out, do you think they're going to show favor on you just because you put down Black people? Do you think you're going to have favor? And you have Black Americans that do that. They want to prove to white people, I'm not like them. I'm different. So there's like over 50 million foundational Black Americans, and we're being judged by what a few does on social media, which consists of immigrants. A lot of these so-called Black people you see on these carnival cruises and these picnics and these McDonald's and funerals are comprised of also immigrants as well. And that's why immigrants are so upset when we start delineating from them, because they can no more tether onto us and pretend. There are Africans that will go to other countries and pretend to be Black Americans just to try to get Black American respect. See, so you can't put everyone in the same category. Yes, I don't like what I see in some Black Americans. I don't like the image that we see on social media and what the TV is displaying. But if you notice, when election time comes around, guess who they want to vote? Guess whose community they come to and make empty promises to get your votes. They even start talking about the accomplishments that Black Americans made. So when Black Americans started responding to the Africans that was repeatedly attacking us, so now we become violent against Africans. When Black Americans respond to the Hispanics and the Asians and the Haitians, Like the one female that referred to us as dirty black Americans. So when black Americans responded, now we're the bad people, we're the aggressive ones, we're the ones that's showing hatred towards other groups. Well, if these other groups were not attacking us, there will be no reason for us to respond. Because black Americans have always been open armed and receptive to other groups of people. They would not be here had it not been for foundational black Americans. Do I feel that there is a lot of improvement that black Americans can make? Yes. I'm not doubting that, not one bit. Yeah, there is improvements that black Americans can make, especially when parents need to get a hold of their children, especially when black women should stop attacking black men and black men should stop attacking black women. This whole divide and conquer thing is working. So now you have these good blacks that are now conservatives and Republicans are now putting down people that look like them. And I mentioned Brandon Tatum is going overboard, man. He's traveling just to try to prove these white boys' innocence. But you don't see any of us doing that for any of our own people. So all this time that these Asians have been attacking black Americans in their establishment, no kind of respect at all. So when blacks start saying like, okay, then we're going to start boycotting them. We're not going to deal with the Asians no more. Now we're hatred. Now we're displaying hate because we decided to spend with our own, keep our money in our own community. They got like a little Italy. They have a little Africa. I can take you right down in the housing project here where many black people used to live. And they got a rec center down there that used to be a daycare center. Now it's got Somali on it. See, but I hope that I see black Americans stop taking the abuse, stop sitting down and allowing these people to do the things that they're doing. When they put out there with that negative propaganda and say that you're violent, well, when it comes to defending yourself, if you get approached by one of Chud the Builder's disciples, you have a right to defend yourself. And don't let a little can of pepper spray or mace chase you away. You handle your business. You have to get your respect back. Because you got foreigners coming here now that feel that they can say and do anything to you, come in your neighborhood, get in your face and disrespect you, and you can't respond because if you respond, now you're chimping out or you're violent. And so now you want to prove to them that you're not chimping out and that you're not violent. And you just sit there and just become a walking mat. You have to stop doing that. Because what are you showing your children that's growing up? You're teaching your children by action. You're teaching your children how to become submissive and docile. And you need to stand up, shoulders back, chest out, head in the air. Be proud of who you are. And don't allow anyone to allow negative propaganda to tear you down. Look at what a black man posted on Facebook for the world to see.